Hello, ladies and gentlemen. What's up, friends? Welcome to Tier 1 MRL Round 2, Season 8. Going to Qatar, the track named Losail. It's a doozy. It's going to get hot. We might see some punctures, maybe, depending on certain strategies. I'm not lonely, Pat. You're here with me, and I got everyone else in chat. And we're going to see some amazing action here today. So I'm excited. I hope y'all are excited. We got some more racing action coming for you. And even after this, we got my man Pat right here in chat alongside Mage doing our no assist here. So that'll be fun. We have 19 drivers currently in the lobby. It is about to be 3:15 officially, has on my Apple Watch. So I expect this lobby to get started. But as we get going and as we're talking about things, let's take a quick look at the track itself. As we've talked about, Qatar, it's beautiful. It's the first time we are racing here in MRL. It is very flowy and kind of fast. You're full throttle for a good amount of the sector 2 and 3, so make sure you don't under the fuel. Make sure you're trying to get out of the people in front of you in terms of their tow. Your engine will overheat. And here's the track overall. You got 16 turns, pretty fast flowing, as I mentioned, and really one overtaking spot, which is that DRS section zone, or that DRS zone, which is the main straight. Let's see how it goes. and the lobby is officially getting started. Take a quick look at our race notes today before we do jump into the action. So as we've already mentioned, first ever race here at MRL. The track has only 13 meters in elevation, so it's on par with tracks such as Monza, Silverstone. So let's expect to see some DRS trains here, especially with the consistency and the pace that these gentlemen bring out here in Tier 1. It's going to be the best of the best. It's the fast boys. All right. Another race note. Miniko, has he officially turned a new leaf? Troubles and troubles and troubles all last season. He officially, finally, gets his big win here in MRL Tier 1 in a very rainy debut at for Season 8 Tier 1 in Great Britain. Rain is something Tier 1 is not shy to at all, though, and Miniko shined. He maybe led just maybe a third of the race and really took it to Drix, and some late safety cars helped him out. Drivers to watch this race are going to be Yellow Snowman. He's probably going to have an interesting setup choice here, so I'm just going to want to keep a close eye on and see how he does. Didn't probably have the showing he wanted in Great Britain. I believe he finished 12th, which out of 12 finishers, everyone else DNF'd. Nathan Pocus is also another driver we're going to be taking a look at, and Drix. Some very fast boys. Drix took pole last race in Great Britain. He was taken out in Sector 2 of the last lap by none other than Aston Martin's Richard Tantrum, or better known as Sanchez, or also Santiago Robles. But nonetheless, let's get to our racing action. And Giants fan is on track. The first one here for us. Go ahead and get our information up here for you all. Let's actually keep that. I like that disabled. All right. If anyone wants that, you let me know. But we're going to keep the telemetry down. We're just going to watch these beautiful cars go around this wonderful, flowy, curvy track. Fast speeds. But again, our Giants fan here, the first one out on track. He's going to be setting the bar. And as the esports MRL team captain, he probably will be setting it pretty high. I'd expect to see a 21 for his first lap here. We're going to go ahead and change the onboard view. Change to the onboard view. And just ride along here with Giants fan. Coming up to the final turn. Gonna want to get a nice clean exit out of turn 16. Gets that DRS flap open. The question here is always, when do you start your hot lap? When do you put on that ERS? You're gonna run out of it if you put it on way too soon, as it goes down into 5th, 4th quickly, back up into 5th, down into 4th for that turn as well, to the high speed turn 4, down into this big double right-hander in Sector 1. Kind of nails the apex, both there. Here, he's gonna wanna hit the brakes really hard on that hairpin, probably the slowest turn on the entire track. That is the slowest turn on the entire track, I should say. Go ahead, bro. I could commentate with you. I'm not ready for that, man. It's too much. It took me too much to get this all ready and done and set for. Anyway, I could promise some damn good entertainment. You guys just keep popping in and chat. You keep me active. We'll stay active. I got my water right here. As Giants is coming through to the final turn once again. Down into 4th, quickly up into 5th, quicker than I shift into 5th, I believe. I'm a Tier 5 driver, so that's probably exactly what you want to see, getting every bit of track and already into the 20s with a 120.6. Very fast steamer of 11. I believe we're going to have a Mercedes coming in next, it looks like. Oh no, they're out on the... I have a feeling it's this Williams, perhaps, that might be finishing. Oh, no, it'll be Snaky. The Alpine. Yellow Snowman right behind him, 2/10 with a 21.4. Snaky with a 21.2. All right. There's a bit of traffic back here. I kind of want to see what's going on as we take a quick look. I think we can go ahead and turn the music off now. Just focus on the gameplay. Everyone's warming up. Miniko, our race winner, slotting into second, but it's still 7/10 behind Giants fan so far with a 21.1. Speedy Goose is on a hot lap himself right now. We're currently on board with this McLaren. Sure, our main tier 1 broadcaster Punju, who I'm usually just co-commentating with. We're gonna tip our cap to him. Sure, he's appreciated the love, and he's getting a little bit of traffic here. The Red Bull gets out of his way. Got a Mercedes up ahead of him. Might be a little bit of dirty air. He might also be picking up a little bit of the drag. Isn't gonna be necessarily a bad thing. That's gonna put him last of those who have qualified so far. T-Ball and the Mercedes with a 21.5, just 2/10 ahead of him. Giants fan, Miniko, Snaky, Yellow Snowman, all back into the pits. A rain race? I'm calling cap, Pat. I don't believe you. It's Qatar. It's dry as hell. If it's a rain race, I don't know. The rain race. I think I don't know. Like I'll eat my shoe. Like what? I think I heard some Yellow Snowman say something like that too. And I've heard them say, "Yeah, it's dry. It's dry." That's what I'm saying. Thank you, Seb. All right, so Drix is out here setting up personal best sector 2 or purple, or if that is the fastest overall, but we know Drix is looking to score some big points for Mercedes and have a big comeback as he stays into fifth that whole final turn, but takes a little bit of a different approach than Giants fan does. As we mentioned, he missed out on a podium finish in Great Britain, getting taken out by Santiago Robles, aka Richard Tantrum, who is out, and I believe he's received a quali ban. So yeah, you'll be seeing, as you can see, he will not be setting an official time. And Drix, as I was talking and not paying attention as he crossed the line, look at that, 1,000th of a second slower than Giants fan. 1,000th. Wow. These guys are going to be battling it out. As long as Giants fan doesn't have any brake issues, something that he saw yesterday, or last week, I should say, last race day. He should be looking pretty prime for some big points. Minico, the next one right behind him. There's a bit of traffic that Magical Forehead's running into, but I think he's going to be on a hot lap himself, and as he's doing that, um, why don't we take a quick little break and take a look at the team standings here? So as you can see, Aston Martin taken off pretty well for Tier 1 with 25 points. They also stole the fastest lap. That would be Santiago Robles, but finishing out the points, he doesn't count as a point for the um, for the final constructors standings. Red Bull right behind with 19, AlphaTauri with 18, Alfa Romeo with 12. Got Williams 10, right? Ferrari with 10, tied at 5th and 6th. And McLaren rounding out the points in the Tier 1 constructors with 7 points. So, yeah, interesting stuff there. We go back to the action now. Magical Forehead through to Sector 2 now. It looks like he's a little slow. and he's got his ERS light flashing, so I don't think he's a hot lap. Sketchy Bull, on the other hand, coming through Sector 3 looking pretty fast out of the triple right-hander. And I really love that. Fast left-hander, stays in sixth, sticks it pretty well, down into fourth, up into fifth pretty quickly with a short shift. Giants fan Drix, and now Don't Blink squeezes into third while we were taking a look at the standings, and Sketchy Bull goes up into eighth with a 21.3. Squeezes right between Doblas and Yellow Snowman, so he's probably happy with that. MRK says Giants fan's gonna get pull. All right, so yeah, with 8 minutes left, we are gonna go ahead and end the poll. Thanks for mentioning that as well. 66% say Drix will get it, and right now he's only missing out by 1,000th of a second. So I think he might be able to find something there. Doblas is on a hot lap, it looks like. Go ahead and show some Williams love. They already have Giants fan up top. Doblas looking pretty fast himself. But the difference of nearly 9/10, 7/10. I don't know, my math may not be that great. Running into a bit of traffic, so that might be hurting him through the chicane. Very slow flowing chicane. Through another tricky, one of the trickiest left-handers, probably the trickiest left-hander on the track. Got flags in sector 2. Like they're going to be okay. Noticing Dolas was up at all, but he's coming up through the last corner. Great. And Giants fan just pushes up a little bit quicker. Picks up 3/100. Doblas picks up 3/10 with a 21.0. And now these guys in the middle to the back of the pack are finally closing up these gaps. We see Braided Axe way at the bottom there in the pits with a 22.0. Gonna want to probably pick it up. Speedy Goose as well with a 21.7. Gamer 21.6. Scornsy with a 21 or 21.5, excuse me. All right. Inico with a 20.8. So he improves on his 20 time 4/10, I believe. He's going to be starting fourth now. At top 15 separated by 1 second. Good call. It's going to be close. It's going to be close racing. Some DRS trains for sure. Drix back out at it. He's already up a 10th through sector 2. He might have something to say about your prediction, MRK, as he's keeping it pretty nice and smooth through the triple right-handers, down into sixth, back on the throttle as quickly as possible, up to the final corner he goes, staying in fifth again, rides the curb as basically as much as possible without invalidating. I think he's going to have Giants fan on here by 2/10. Okay. All right. At 20.4. Giants fan is going to have to put on an extra set of softs if he's going to want to make a push at that. Is he going to want to save a set for the race? I don't think so. That might not really be the play here in Tier 1. Hello, Matthew. How's it going, my man? Unfortunate race for you today. That was a really, really sketchy, weird start. And here we are with our Mr. Gornsey in the Red Bull coming through Sector 1. Looks like his teammate, Nathan, is also coming through. He's invalidated, so he's not doing too well with a 21.9. We did say he's a driver to keep an eye on, but yeah, he's seems to be struggling. Andy has yet to set a time. Let's see what this guy's planning to do. Hello, how's it going, Andy? How's it going, Rage Quit? Thanks for stopping by. Drix is extremely fast. Extremely fast. Yeah, I mean, Good thing. There's a reason why these guys are tier 1, right? Rage quit. There's a reason. We only got 3 guys out on track right now. Sketchy Bull currently coming through sector 1. Scornsy up almost 2 seconds. So yeah, burning ERS. I think he might not be able to best his time if he's going to go out on another set of hard. Snaky here hasn't validated his lap time. He won't be besting this at all. He'll have to make another run. He'll hope he has enough fuel left in the tank and enough fire or grip left in the tires. Sketchy Bull is our man out on track. Coming through sector 2. Go to sector 3, up to tenths. Exactly what you want to see. This could be huge for him. Up to tenths can push him up almost 5 spots. This last corner is going to be crucial. Down into 4th. Short shifts into 5th. Doesn't really use the full track and slide around like the fast guys, but he goes up with 20.8 up into 5th place. He bests his time by half a second. Oh my gosh. Still questioning how he's leading the World Drivers' Championship. Well, man, you placed 4th last race. If you can manage to stay in 4th again, I think you're going to place yourself in some good positioning to do fairly well. Yeah, I would hope not. I think my stream shows no drop frames. It looks like it's doing mighty fine for me on my stats and whatnot. I just want to kill the app. Restart. So here comes Magical Forehead, who we must just missed, but he's up into 3rd. Oh no, he's been in 3rd. And he's going to be giving this a go. And he's getting a huge slipstream help. Is that his teammate in front of him? What a play. He stays out on track with the DRS and burns the rest of his ERS to give Magical Forehead a huge boost. Let's see exactly what's going to go on the rest of this way for Mr. Magical Forehead. I see yellows. I see traffic. I see a blinking ERS. He gets out of the way. I see another one blinking. Let's hope. Oh, as he loses the rear a little bit, the Aston gets out of his way. All right. Did he set a? Was that a purple sector 1 that I missed? I might have missed. It seems like he's flying. He got a huge boost. He's got another yellow up ahead of him. A little bit more traffic. Looks like it's a slow Red Bull. But he's coming through sector 2, looking really good. Oh, and he really almost invalidates, nearly just takes it all the way to the complete limit there. I think his exit on the final corner might be the only thing that's slightly lacking, as you can see. Only can't even best his time. Drix can really swing it around that final corner pretty well. Andy has not set a time. I don't think he's going to set a time. Yeah, it looks like he's not setting a time. So that's going to be it for him. 8 seconds left, and there's a line of guys who's trying to make it across the line. It looks like that's going to be Nathan. He's not going to be able to make it, so he's not going to do any better than 15th as he starts tumbling down already. Snowman 16th. The 2 of our drivers to watch starting way in the back, right by each other currently. Sketchy Bull no better than 6th, and Zeech no better than 11th currently. D-Ball has invalidated, so he's not going to do any better. Doblas is almost up a 10th. Let's go ahead and stick with him as he's almost through the 3rd sector. Drew feeling happy about his tier 2 win. Doblas getting some help here. Another big help. Teammates right here. Doblas going to improve nearly 3/10. 1 quarter of a second up into fifth currently. And those guys in the bottom just going lower and lower down the grid. And I think they're safe where they are now. It's safe to say. So Drix is going to steal pole position. Our poll, those 66% who selected that are correct, unless Gamer had anything to say about it, and he didn't. But Gamer does jump into the 12th, and there we have it. Our grid is officially set for the race. All right, we're gonna have some fun things going on today, folks. But let's go ahead and get into it. Starting in our podium positions, Drix in first, Giants fan in second, and Magical Forehead in third. Rich Sabi in the McLaren in fourth, rounding out the second row. Doblas and Miniko in the third row. Not too bad showing for Miniko as the race winner. You know, qualified fourth first race, and now sixth in his second race back. See how he continues to improve and what kind of approach he has to this race strategy. Sketchy Bull in seventh, Scornsy in eighth, and in ninth and 10th is Don't Blink and T-Ball to round out the points positions to start off this race. And in the bottom half of the grid, we have Zeech, Gamer, Bops, Snaky, Speedy Goose, Nathan, and Yellow Snowman surprisingly at the bottom with both respectively with 21 fours, but it's just not good enough. Braided Axe, slowest of the bunch by a half a second slower than Yellow Snowman. San Diego Robles, Richard Tantrum. He served a quali ban and Andy did not go out and set a time. I don't think he had a quali ban, but perhaps he did. 20.3 isn't normal. Yo, Drix is insane. Drix is nuts. Yeah, so let's have some fun, folks. Let's take a quick look at the constructor standings for the entire league coming into today. This is how the standings were looking. I know there's been quite a bit of a mix-up in terms of McLaren getting a lot of points. Aston Martin had a terrible showing in the first half of the day, but they're bringing it home strong in the second half. And in the drivers' standings, take a quick look at that as well. As you can see, again, Miniko leading the way, Magical Forehead in second, who qualified amazingly, and in third, I can't read that right now. But let's go ahead. We're going to get back to the main gameplay. A little nervous. I want to make sure we have time. We can talk about this here. Nathan. Yes, Nathan Pokas, our driver to watch, who finished Great Britain in third and is currently sitting third in the Drivers' Championship, starting down in 16. All right, and here we go. The 5 lights are on, and they're off. Drix looks to be getting away fairly nicely. Oh no, T-Ball jumps him quickly. Wait, what? No way, T-Ball's up. Drix is in first. There's a weird glitch with the timing. So Drix has jumped up to a huge lead. Oh, and we have action in the back. It looks like T-Ball way back there got mixed up. Speedy goes way in the back. Yeah, why is T-Ball say he's up in front? There we go. As that fixes itself, we love to see EA doing EA things. Looks like it fixed Kiss My Ex. Thanks. But it looks like things are keeping clean after a little bit of action with T-Ball and the Mercedes and a few other drivers. And everyone else seems to be keeping in the DRS. So now, as Rich Seb goes a little wide on that final right-hander of that 3 long turn in Sector 3. And here it is, gents. ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, these broadcast cams, it's but then again, it's just a long ass line too, Andy. Look at this. Everyone has settled down and no one's gonna take any chances, I feel. Miniko looks pretty close to Doblas. Oh! As Magical Forehead goes a little wide, has to overcorrect himself a little bit and loses it. Him and the Williams touch just barely, it looks like. And Miniko looking to jump ahead of one of these guys somehow. As you can see, the Williams and the AlphaTauri still battling it out. It looks like the Williams did just get ahead. Go ahead and take a look at the tire information as well. A handful, most of those in the top 10 are going mediums. We got 3 guys with the hards. Andy with the softs way down below, going really aggressive, hoping for something special to happen. Nathan up into 12th from 16th, and Yellow Snowman up into 14th from 17th. So they're making a little bit of improvement, and they're both fairly close to the men in front of them as well. Giants fan just sets the fastest lap at 24.6. Yes, nothing like Tier 5 at all. All right, so Miniko is just going to be kind of sticking behind Magical Forehead as he's had to relinquish 4th to Doblas. Sketchy Bull is not too far behind. And the question I have on my mind is how much these engines overheating is really going to affect the driving. You driving in this tow, your engine's going to get hot. Once it gets to 130 degrees Celsius for more than, a couple, like a dozen seconds or so, you might be running into some heating issues. Don't blink. Coming in close to Sketchy Bull, and we're going to have DRS finally come in once these guys start this coming around this final corner. So let's see if Giants fan, who has 81% ERS, can make something happen for himself here. He's going to get that DRS flap open, and Rich set behind him, who's 4/10. So he's also going to be under attack himself. Drix goes a little defensive early. He goes back to the racing line. Nothing to be said, but they get a lot of help. Those 2 drivers behind him gaining 2/10 each. Oh, it's fine, Andy. No worries. There is going to be a lot of action to cover, though. Doblas is the first one to be stepping out of that DRS range in really the top 10, top 15. And that's going to be the one hurting everyone behind him. So Magical Forehead and Miniko, anyone else really in this DRS train are going to want to try to see what they can do to get around Doblas, who is just struggling to keep ahead with the top trio, who's starting to pull away. And here they come again. Giants fan, probably about the same distance as he was. Drix again taking a hard defensive line. T-Ball has left the session. Let's see if we can get him back as Magical Forehead back behind here. And Doblas go ahead and change positions again. So Magical Forehead regaining his spot. Maybe he can pull this train a little bit closer to these folks up front. While that's going on, I believe I have T-Ball as a friend. Nope. Nope. All right. Back to the action, folks. Trying to get T-Ball back in, but it doesn't look like we're going to have. He's going to get much help from the commentary crew today, unfortunately. But Rich Seb is getting pretty close to Giants, and I think he's going to be in striking distance out of any of these top three. Magic Forehead has reeled in nearly 3/10 from what the distance was. Now he's in DRS range, so he has pulled that train behind back in. The question is he going to get DRS though? As Rich Seb back 5/10 doesn't get the exit you really want to see. Magic Forehead did get DRS, so he is going to be pulling this train in again, closer to this front trio as Giants fan takes the lead. We missed that just up ahead. The Giants fan finally getting a move done up into turn one. And Drix is going to be coming back at him all race, but he looks to be struggling through sector one, already losing another 3/10 very quickly after getting passed through turn three. Sanchez looking pretty close on Scornsy in the Red Bull, who's also following Gamer pretty closely as well, but 7/10 is, or 6/10 is not that big of a jump. Once he gets into 4/10, he'll get that help of the toe. Totally Zoika, as Sanchez is going for the move on the outside. Is he going to make it stick? He is. The Red Bull just doesn't have the grip. They're both on the same tires, but he's going to go ahead and get past Scornsy. Scornsy coming back at him through turn one, trying to go around the outside, and he's not going to be able to do it. I think Richard Tantrum's going to be able to hold on to that, and he's going to want to do his best to try to get back in touch with that DRS range of Gamer, as that battling took him out of that mess. Goblas is falling down the order, down to 7th now, and he's also picked up a time penalty. 5 drivers with time penalties already, 7 laps in. So those are going to hurt you. You wonder who else has picked up those warnings, who's pushing the limits a little bit too much. And Andy is really, really struggling out here in Qatar here with these tier 1 drivers and the pace that they're hitting, as he's going to be getting lapped fairly soon. Sketchybull nearing on Miniko, who's up a position. Looks like these gentlemen have swapped places briefly. Sketchybull has to get on the brakes a little bit later and stay on him a little more longer than he would like to, as Diego Sanchez picks up a 3-second penalty. Rich Sebi up into third, or is still in third. Drix does get that overtake done. We're missing that action up top. We got to come back on him and stay with him, as there's more action at turn one. It looks like Don't Blink gets past Doblas. Doblas getting passed now by the Ferrari. Oh no. Williams, more pain. He's just falling down the order, as there's going to be a little bit of contacts with Bobs and Doblas. He regains his composure. He's able to get tucked back into that slipstream, but it's going to hurt. That battle definitely hurt. Giants fan, half a second behind Drix. They're just going to be swapping positions, going into turn one all race, I have a feeling. And this Ferrari also of Andy that's going to be lapped soon might have a big play into this coming up in a couple or a handful of laps, as whoever's in first might get some DRS help as well eventually. All right. We're going to stick with Giants here. Got 90% ERS. He is gaining fast. Going to take a look around on the outside. Is this how he's going to get it done? Is that how these gentlemen have been getting done? He's not going to make anything happen there, but he's going to get really close and slow both of them down a good amount. Rich Seb, who's just cruising in the McLaren, is having a great drive as well and just trying to bide his time and let these two in front of him battle it out and go for the mistakes. And here's a look at our penalties. Minico effectively in 5th with that 3-second penalty from Sketchybull, and Zeech essentially in 9th. So that's the only switch and effect changes that we have in the points positions with the current time penalties as they are. Hello, Ellie. Thanks for stopping by. Looks like there's a fan of Scornsy's in here. Scornsy's doing his best with Richard Tantrum and Gamer going for some moves into the last corner. And Giants fan coming back at Drix. There's so much action on this main straight. How are we going to keep up with it? Magical Forehead now has gotten into this fight for the podium positions with that battling up front. Drix back into 2nd. It's lap 10. What is going to happen? No safety cars yet. There's still 20 drivers. Andy is going to get lapped, I would have to say, in around 5 to 6 laps from here. He is struggling. Sketchybull and Minico swapped places yet again. And Minico 2 seconds behind this group of 4, who's now setting themselves apart from the pack. If Minico wants anything to say about his current standing in the Drivers' Championship, which is first with 25 points, he's going to want to keep pushing as much as possible. It'll be interesting to see what his strategy is as we come back up the order once again. 4 of these gentlemen here battling. Giants fan going super defensive, and he goes over to the racing line. Drix is going to go up on the inside. The 2 gentlemen behind him as well going to be swapping positions. No, they're not. Oh, they touch. Magical Forehead and Rich Step still going at it, not conceding either one of them. I think that's a little too aggressive from the Alpha Tauri there. Rich Sebi probably not too happy about that, as Drix is pretty close to Giants fan again. I think this is the closest I've seen them through Sector 1. And Magical Forehead is right there as well. With how slow these guys are through that sector, for whatever reason, it's able to let that guy in this pack of 4 who's way in the back catch back up and regain their composure. These guys are aliens. You got that right, Testarossa. Any other battles down further? I'm not seeing too much. Doblas with 6 seconds of penalties. That's going to be hurting him, dropping him definitely out of the points positions now. Whew. You know these guys are sweating. Drix following, trying to stay in that slipstream, not burning any ERS, just getting all the help with that back flap. He lifts. He doesn't want to take the overtake yet. He has other plans. He's playing 4D chess right now. But Giants fan is also happy about that because you know what? He's like, as long as Drix is still behind me, his engine is the one that's going to be the one that's in trouble with the dirty air. Magical Forehead and Rich Sebi back behind them, still respectively around 4/10 behind a piece as well. Minico has reeled in as within what, eight, 8 tenths, 6 tenths from 2.2 to 1.4, 1.3 in fifth place. So he is catching up to this pack. The Aston Martin man is not saying, I'm done. He wants to fight and get up into this battle after leaving it for around 8 laps or so, and it seemed like they might not have been able to been caught up. But as long as they keep battling, he's going to get some help. The Magical Forehead, who's up into third and has now for the last 2 laps, I believe. Going to be putting some pressure on Drix. Drix again, not electing not to make an overtake. I believe he was around 7 tenths behind Giants fan at the start of that straight, so he was fairly far back, and probably wasn't the best time to make a lunge. So he's playing a little bit more, saving his tires maybe. Go back. Speaking of tires, let's go ahead and take a look at these tires advantages or disadvantages. These hards are probably going to be coming in pretty good for Magical Forehead, I would imagine. The medium runners are going to want to be thinking about pitting maybe 3 laps. And I think we're going to be able to tell grip difference of these hards through this triple right-hander. As you see, Magical Forehead gained nearly 2 tenths on that, on Drix. And as Drix is pulling on 12 laps on the mediums, and he's had enough, he's going to be putting on the hards. So he's going for the undercut. Minico up into third. So Drix, Rich Sebi. Who else is that? Sketchy Bull, Bops, all into the pit. So 4 gentlemen have pitted for the hards. Our medium runners in the top 10 go in, put on the hards, and hope that those are going to do them well for around 18, 19 laps or so. Or 16. Oh, as Minico gets a little slippery and slidey there. It looks like Jonathan was asking for tires too. There you are, man. So Magical Forehead looks like he's gaining some time here on Giants fan. Hard to really tell. I mean, he was a combined around maybe 9 tenths behind Giants fan. But when it got to around this point, it was a little bit closer, as Magical Forehead is going to be now taking the effective lead. Giants fan goes into the pits. Let's go ahead and take a look back on board with Drix, who's got caught up in some traffic with Speedy Goose. This isn't what he wanted to see. This isn't ideal. As Giants fan, Minico and Scornsy are now into the pits. Oh, and Speedy Goose all over the place in the McLaren. He is struggling. Drix now going to have to put that pedal to the metal. I think Giants fan is going to be pretty safe here, but this is going to be a close one. Oh, no, he's got plenty of speed. Oh, Rich Sebi, where did he come from? Flying past with the DRS. Effectively up into second, provisional second place for Rich Sebi. Just flying past Drake's there. Got a huge plays from Speedy Goose. Maybe a little bit of questionable as he went off track on one of them. But Drix was able to avoid it. But Rich Sebi setting a purple sector 1. A second. Reeling in ever so slightly. Giants fan Braided Axe picks up a 5-second penalty. Magical Forehead finally pulling into the pits himself on the hards. He's going to be putting in the mediums most definitely. And those are going to be looking strong. But the question is, where does he come out? So we're riding back up along with these leaders as Don't Blink stays out, it looks like. Questionable call from there. Is he going to try to stretch to the softs? The hards will be definitely have a lot more grip if that's the way where he opts to go next lap. But let's see what Don't Blink decides to do as Braided Axe, Magical Forehead, Richard Tantrums, or Sanchez and Zeech and Nathan are all in the pits, putting on their mediums now. It looks like most of them. Drix with the fastest lap, and he gets past Rich Sebi through turn one. As we kind of miss it, but it was on screen. Drix is getting faster and faster. Another purple sector for him. 8 tenths behind Giants fan. This is exactly what he wanted to see. Magical Forehead came out right behind Rich Sebi. So that's essentially, wasn't he in? I think he was in third. So probably not the ideal strategy as he looks to have lost a place. And Miniko is now a second behind him as well. So these top four is going to be a top five pretty soon. Miniko has played it played the strategy very nicely. Don't Blink, finally in the pit. Braided X, finally in the pits. Andy, not causing any trouble, surprisingly. Miniko sets the fastest lap with a 23.7. Drix is out of DRS range of Giants fan for the first time. He's got 35% ERS left. Giants fan with 20. So this will be an interesting to see how this plays out the rest of the way through. Drix is going to want to stay in that DRS range. Rich Sebi with the 3-second penalty. Let's go ahead and take a look at those again. So that's going to hurt. He has had a strong showing most of the day. 3 seconds is going to bump him out of the podium positions. Miniko, after setting one of the fastest lap, he is slowing down. Doesn't look like he's doing all that great through that chicane sector 2, I believe. Or is it come after the chicane through that really, really slow left-hander? Well, Drix is going to get DRS. 6 tenths behind Giants fan. Not going to be enough to make a move, but it's definitely going to bring him in within 2 tenths as Magical Forehead and Rich Sabi swap positions, and Magic Forehead takes the fastest lap away from Drix with a 23.6. And he is gaining on Drix as well. Miniko looks to have had a moment. He is fallen now behind Sketchy Bull. Sketchy Bull just must have made an overtake on turn 1 now that I think about it. But if these gentlemen are smart, they'll keep using that DRS to keep slingshotting each other closer to this pack of 4 up front. Rich Sebi is continuing to lose time. Beach and Richard Tantrum. Ooh. Banging tires. They're really, really getting pretty aggressive. Sanchez not giving up any space. Zeech trying to rectify or blame that some space of road as well. Rich Sebi falling back. Giants fan gets passed by Drix, and we're gonna have 11 laps left. Magical Forehead also in this. We can't forget about him. As Yellow Snowman gets up above Zeech, Nathan, all our two drivers to watch. Not up in the points as of yet. And they look like they're just trying to get through the day. This 9-second penalty from Mr. Santiago Robles is gonna be hurting him and bumping him down a couple positions. That's for sure. Magical Forehead, Giants, Fan, and Drix are all the closest they've ever been, or any trio has been coming out of that final exit. Let's see what happens here. Giants fan does get the overtake. It looks like Magical Forehead might be able to slip in right behind him too. He's going to look for a little bit of a look up at the inside out of turn one. It's not going to be there. He's able to hit the apex better coming out of turn two. But sticks in right behind Drix. He is right on that gearbox. Nearly touches that tail of Drix's. Magical Forehead really putting on the pressure. Minico up into fourth now with 2.3 seconds gain if he wants anything to say about finishing in the podium again in back-to-back races. Doblas down into seventh. We haven't heard much from him. He's been struggling ever since around lap 7 or so. Yellow Suman looks like him and Zeech swap spots back in the back of the pack. But here's Drix and Magical Forehead. Magical Forehead going up on the inside of Drix. It looks like Magical Forehead's going to go up into the lead of this race for a few seconds. And Drix, whew, he rides that as close as he could. Giants fan getting overtaken by two drivers. I mean, you kind of expect it when they both have DRS, but Magical Forehead with a double overtake himself, he is up into the lead, and he has the fastest lap, I believe, right now. Drix missing the apex around the hairpin, slipping and sliding. Not really what you see out of him. He's got like 9 laps or so to keep this together, try to make something happen for themselves. This is going to be a last lap shootout the way these guys are going. I mean, as long as they stay within 5/10 of each other, it's going to come down to that final straight and that final turn. But Drix is losing time to Magical Forehead. What is this? The mediums look to be really crisp for Magical Forehead right now. Drix really needs these hards to come into form. Giants fan not able to make anything happen for himself. He gets close within 1 second, but backs off. And this is going to be the battle for the win, I believe. These three, I think that's the way it's going to go. A Sketchy Bull is attacking Rich Sebi. They both have time penalties. Sketchy Bull picks up another time penalty. That's not going to help. But they're trying to follow Minico as closely as possible. Don't blink. About 4 seconds behind them on softs. I don't think he's going to be finishing on them, but he could. He could finish this race on softs like that. He might be getting past pretty soon. So with Doblas and the Williams in 8th, who's also been struggling with time or with the track limits as well. So we'll have to see how that goes as Drix is officially out of the DRS zone. He's out of the DRS zone of Magical Forehead. Is that it? Magical Forehead going to be able to pull away from both Drix and Giants fan, some of the top favorites. Will this rookie be able to pull away for his first win? It looks like both of Drix and Forehead have their ERS batteries blinking, while Giants fan is able to pull in closer and has 30% battery left. So he looks to be somewhat safe. Oh! As he do a quick overcorrection over some curbs through Sector 1. He's kept it together. Still 1.2 behind Magical Forehead. And he's hoping and praying that Magical Forehead doesn't get DRS from that Ferrari in front of him. But I think it might happen. Magical Forehead could play this just right. But it might also allow Giants fan to creep back in. It's going to be interesting coming into the triple right-hander in Sector 3. Giants fan, he's gained almost 2/10. He needs to make this perfectly. I don't think he's going to do it. Okay, he's not going to get DRS coming up into this last straight. Oh, no. So the Ferrari comes in. And Magical Forehead is going to get DRS here. He is going to pull away. That is not what you want to see. Giants fan doing his best to burn ERS and stay out of the attack of Drix and as close as possible to Magical Forehead as he picks up nearly 3/10, 4/10 from that straight alone and the help of DRS. I think that might be it. I think this Ferrari might have sealed the deal. Giants fan has to have a hell of a drive these last 6 turns or so. There are yellows in Sector 1 and 3. It looks like there is an Alpha Tauri that's having some trouble back there. Is that Braided Axe? I'm not too sure. I think so. And a Ferrari also going pretty slow. I think that might be Andy who has DNF'd. He must have retired in the pits. Andy has had enough. Giants fan chopped off around 2.5 half tenths. Magical Forehead will have a little bit of extra grip than most of these other medium runners, I believe. Rick's 8/10 behind Giants fan. That's all the ERS he's got left. He's going to have to be nursing that the rest of the way. They both are at 10%, Drix and Giants fan. As Magical Forehead jumps up to another 1.3 seconds into the lead. He's got 14% ERS battery. So he's looking pretty crisp. Miniko has settled in the 4th position. It looks like with these two guys with time penalties battling it out behind him. Don't Blink has held on to 7th place with these 8-lap-old hards. 5 more laps to go. And these softs hold on and outlast those hards of Doblas's. No game audio, what? Aw, man. Thanks, Chili. That was all stream, guys. Man. Bummer. Anyway. We're coming up into the, oh, it's back now. Wonder what happened. Need to figure that out. All right. Rick's getting a little closer to Giants fan again. It seems to be pushing these hards to the limit now. And seems to barely be holding on in some of these corners. Beach might be able to make something happen here against Yellow. Oh, riding it close. There he goes through the chicane. Ooh. These guys are getting real close. Siege really trying to race Yellow as hard as possible. With Yellow putting up a fairly decent defense. Siege gets a great exit out of the penultimate turn. I think he's going to be able to get a move done here. He's going to burn most of his ERS. He's going to get a lot of help from that back flap being open. Yellow Snowman's going to have to concede. Pain. And would you look at that? Drix is now falling back out of DRS range as well of Giants fan. The Giants fan is creeping closer back to Magical Forehead. Just over 2 laps left to go. What can Giants fan do? The penalties aren't great, my man. As we go down the final straight, Magical Forehead is out of ERS. Giants fan basically the same, 6% left. He loses a lot of time down this main straight. But he's going to get 2 chances to overtake him with that long DRS zone. Drix keeps falling back. Giants fan might be able to make something special happen here, folks. Let's keep an eye on it as Rich Sebi Dylan comes up into 5th, right in front of Sketchy Bull. There are the penalties for you. Drix picks up a 3-second penalty for this first time. That's going to put Minico up into the podium position. He's going to be happy about that. Giants fan into DRS range. Here we go. 1 lap to go coming up. He's going to have 2 chances to get him. I think Giants fan is going to play this just right as well. He's burning a little bit here out of that exit. Magical Forehead has 10% ERS left. He's going to burn what he has here, it looks like. Giants fan has DRS. Okay, this is going to be huge. Let's see what these gentlemen can do through these final 3 sectors of the race. Giants fan within 3/4 of a second. 6/10 nearly now. Rich Sebi gets up above Minico, it looks like, for 4th, but that's not going to be good enough. Minico is going to want to try to get back up ahead of him, though, and try to steal back that podium position. As Drix has realized he's got to push. Magical Forehead losing more time. Giants fan showing his superiority through the first 2 sectors. He's within 6/10. Magical Forehead burning 2% of the RS. Gaining a little bit back around that corner. I think Magical Forehead's going to have this done. It's not going to be enough. Giants fan is going to try his best, but that's going to be it. Magical Forehead gets the win here at Losail, Qatar track. Round 2, MRL Tier 1. Miniko does jump up to the podiums with those time penalties to Drix and Rich Sebi. Huge from him and Aston Martin. Big points finish for him. Giants fan back atop in the podium positions again after having a really bad start to the season and some brake issues. He's happy to be finishing second, I'm sure. Well battled out. Just him and Drix really going at it all day long. Let's see if we can get some gentlemen, our top 3, up into the interview room. And before we do that, let's take a quick look at our finishing results again. As you can see, Magical Forehead with his first win as a rookie here in Tier 1 MRL. His first season here, getting his first win at Qatar, a really difficult track, and he just had a master class. Started in 3rd, back into 4th for a couple laps, and was up in the 1st and stuck it out for 1 or 2 laps longer than most. And I think he played his strategy probably one of the best. Giants fan in 2nd, Miniko in 3rd, rounding out these podium positions. Rich Sebi in 4th, Drix in 5th, Don't Blink in 6th, Doblas in 7th, Bops in 8th, Sketchy Bull in 9th, and Scornsy rounding out the points positions. Richard Tantrums again finishing without points. CDR Nathan finishing without points. He's not going to be happy about that in his championship push. Gamer with in 13th place, Yellow in 14th. He finishes 3 places up of where he started the race, so he'll be a little happy about that, I'm sure. Speedy Goose, Snaky, Braided Axe, Zeech, E-Ball, and Andy did not fish. Andy did not race, but that rounds out our 20 drivers. And with that being said, need a second here to tag our race winners. If we can get any of them in. That's got to be Magical Forehead, right? And who was? Let's pull Miniko, our previous race winner, up into here. Make sure I got this all good and going. Miniko, how's it going, my man? How you feeling after that race?
I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, it was just kind of one of those races where I was just in, I guess, in a world of my own, but not really. I mean, there were a couple moments here and there for me. But at the end of the day, I reached the line, didn't run out of fuel, and well, thanks to me keeping it within track limits, it was a good day. I may have lost the championship lead, I think, but honestly, at least I finished the race, so that's pretty good positive on my end.
I was watching closely. I mean, you started, what was it, 6th, I believe, if I recall correctly.
Yes.
And yeah, I mean, it just seemed like it was a battle for you the entire race, trying to keep up. It was the trio first, and then it was a pack of 4, and finally, it took you 28 laps to finally get them within your sights. And once Drix picked up that 3-second penalty, I'm sure you were elated.
I think part of the reason why I was even catching up to them in the first place is they probably were running out of fuel. I made sure that I fueled up enough so I didn't have to worry about it, whereas whereas guys in front of me probably had to had to worry about it and coast a little bit. So I guess that's probably why I caught up quite a lot. I'm just making I was making sure I did not have have to worry about fuel at all, and well, I didn't. So it was that was probably the main reason why.
Okay, man. Well, I think you have had a strong showing, though you may not be happy about it and may not have the lead in the drivers' championship anymore. But Aston Martin definitely happy to have those points. Congrats again on another podium finish, back-to-back race in back-to-back races. What are your hopes for Hungary?
Just same thing I've been doing the past two races. Just keep my nose clean, keep it within track limits, and hope for something good. It's worked out 2 times in a row, so hopefully I can do it 3 times.
That's right. That's right. And if you can qualify a little bit higher, that's always going to help as well too, right? So,
Very true.
all right, Miniko. Well, thanks for stopping by. Congratulations again on that P3 finish. Well earned. And yeah, we'll see you out there on Sunday again for Hungary next week.
Thank you very much.
All right. Oh no, I lost him. Giants fan back in. There we are.
Let's try that again.
Yes, Giants fan. You were battling it out with Drix for most of the race. You finished it in P2, started in P2. How do you feel overall? I mean, you must be sweaty.
Yeah, I'm tired. That last like 10 laps or something. I was just it was full beans. Every single lap was a quality lap. Just trying to get the DRS on Magical Forehead, but I didn't get it until the 2 laps ago. And by that time, I had used up all my fuel, all my ERS.
Right.
So
yeah. I mean, it was a hell of a push to catch back up to him, but he got a hell of a boost as well from the Andy, the Ferrari, just before he goes into the pits.
I think I would have had him had Andy not given him that DRS there.
I think you're totally right.
I think that's what killed me.
I 100% agree. It's unfortunate, but I know Drix is probably a little more upset with how things went, seeing how he started in P1 and just fell down the order after Magical Forehead got that double overtake on you guys late. What was it, lap 21 or so? It felt like.
Yeah, I wasn't fighting that one. I was like, I don't have DRS here. I'm just bailing out.
There was nothing else for you to do, right? You had to play it that way.
I probably could have dumped ERS, but I don't think I would have contested him. So I just gave it to him and rode behind Drix until Drix actually just kind of, I think he tried to catch Magical Forehead, but he realized he wasn't going to get the DRS back. So he kind of gave me like a little wiggle down the straight. So I took that as he was just going to let me by, and he did.
Okay.
I gave it full beans trying to catch him.
You gotta love the sportsmanship from these top drivers here in Tier 1. But yeah, I mean,
Tier 1 is really improved.
And you're back up to the top of the finishing in the grid. How do you feel about that? I know week 1 you had some technical issues. What kind of push you making now with Hungary coming up?
Championship or bust.
I love to hear it.
That's the mentality.
The three-peat, right?
What's that?
The three-peat, back to back.
That's exactly it. I want to be the first one with 3.
Oh my gosh! All right.
I can have some bragging rights over Drix.
Well, I'll get my popcorn ready when Punju's back and we're tag teaming these Tier 1 races once again.
Tier 1 is going to be a show this season, I think. I mean, we got some really high caliber drivers and that know what they're doing and can produce some really good racing.
Oh yeah, it was nuts. I was just following the top 5 all race long. You guys were just on it all day. So keep it up, Tier 1.
Will do.
All right, Giants, thanks for stopping by. Congrats again on the P2 finish.
No problem. Thank you.
All right, our Tier 1 race winner. Oh no, he left. No! Where was he?
Oh, hello?
Hello. All right, we're here. our Tier 1 race winner, man. Magical, magical tongue. I'm getting your second part of the name. I'm forgetting it, but we're just gonna go with magical right now, as it's not coming up on my Discord call either. But
Magical
yes,
forehead.
forehead. Thank you. Yes,
There we go.
forehead.
There we go.
Heck yeah, you had one hell of a double overtake. What was it? Lap 21, I think it was. I want to say.
Yeah.
Ah,
I had like 50% battery and then I just used it all and then I got past both of them. I had really low wings too.
it seemed like it because every time in those final two laps when Giants fan was able to make a little bit of a push towards you, you still were gaining like maybe a tenth or two on him when he even had DRS flaps open. So and you didn't have the help anymore, but you got a huge push as well from Andy in the Ferrari, that back marker. So I'm sure you're
Yeah.
happy about that.
Yeah, I was. I remember that. Oh my god.
So two strong finishes for you: a P2 in Britain, now a P1 in Qatar. I think we're going to be seeing you here in the podium quite a bit. What are your thoughts? Do you like
Hopefully.
Hungary at all?
Oh, I haven't raced a lot. I'll do some this week, but
Okay.
I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Well, you're definitely making a name for yourself here. It's your first season racing in MRL, and you're battling among some of the fastest drivers with Drix and Giants fans. So keep it up. Congrats on the win, man. And I'll be looking forward to calling these races with Punju and seeing these battles that you guys have.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, man.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. Congrats again.
Thank you. Yeah, see ya.
Peace.
Oh, wait.
Alrighty. Folks, thank you so much for stopping by. That was a hell of a race. We got NA coming up right now as well. So stay tuned for that. That's going to get some fun action for you. I'll be racing in there. Maybe we'll see you. Other than that, we are going to say goodbye. Thank you for stopping by. We hope you enjoyed the action. It was an exciting finish. Great late race finish and kind of a late win from Magical Forehead. As his name comes back to my mind. And everyone in chat, thank you for stopping by again. Y'all are amazing. We love you. And good night out, I guess, right? If I can find